What's up guys, welcome back to Mike It Yourself, and this week's video is going to be a review video. We haven't done one in about a month or so, we just had nothing to really review, or I hadn't spent enough time on it, so I wanted to give it a little bit more time to burn before I give you my opinion on what we're going to cover. And some stuff, you know what, you have to re-review because I've ran into an issue with another part that I installed, gave it a review, it looked great, and now I'm seeing failure. So I want to bring it to your all's attention so that way you know, again, my experience with it. And you know, if things continue to go great, I'll let you know, and if they go horrible, then I'll let you know that as well. So let's take a look at our Road King, because we got a couple of things to cover there. I'm telling you, you can't beat the look of a lowered Road King. It's classic, it looks amazing, I love it, and the air ride brings it to you. So if you've been following my videos, you know that I just simply moved the air ride that I had on the Road Glide and placed it onto the Road King and swapped the original air shocks from the Road King over to the Road Glide because I wanted to test out the comfort of those shocks versus the stock Road Glide shocks, and that's the ones with the adjustable preload on them, to see if they were any better, and we'll cover that here in a little bit. But let's talk about this air ride. So this was an air ride that I bought off of eBay, and it is made for these model motorcycles. It's actually interchangeable for quite a few years. There's a huge date range that you can cover with these, and for a decent price. Now, it's kind of a part kit. What I mean by that is it's not like Dirty Air or Legend where they put all their stuff together. This is a mix mash of parts, so it comes with your pressure release valve, your solenoids, all that kind of good stuff. Your compressor is Via Air, which is a very good compressor. That's what a lot of the other guys use. They may or may not rebrand them. And then for the air shock itself, they use Monroe shocks, and these Monroe shocks, just because of the distance, they actually are originally meant for Corvettes, and I think it's in the 80s, early 80s, I believe it is the model of Corvette that they're for. But if you do a little bit of homework, you can find that out. But so how do I know that? And the reason I do know that is because if you've, again, been following my videos, you know that I blew a seal originally while they were on the Road Glide, and I had to buy another set, and instead of buying the entire kit, I just wanted the shocks. Well, I found a really good deal on the shocks, and I bought them. What I didn't know is the bushings that come with those shocks that are made for the Corvette are actually smaller. The diameter of the hole for the bolt to go through is smaller than what's needed for the Harley Davidsons. So lucky for me, I had my old shocks, press those old bushings out, remove the bushings from these ones, and then swap them out. If you don't have those parts, then you're going to run into troubles. You can buy the bushings aftermarket, and I forget who sells them. But if you're going to go shopping for them, again, the deal wasn't so awesome that it's worthwhile to go that route rather than just buy them for or from one of the folks that are selling them for Harley Davidson. So just something to kind of think about. Not a big deal. The other piece of this, and you saw me drop the bike, is using the air ride switch. So we moved it up here to the throttle grip area, or not the throttle, but the clutch grip area, and I like it up here a lot better. Easier to find. I don't ever adjust my ride on the fly, but again, it's just, you know, hands-on controls. It makes it easier. It is a bit of a stretch, so if for some reason you were trying to adjust it on the fly, then yeah, I mean, it does feel a little awkward. But I mean, it would feel just as awkward if you're reaching down to where your horn is, where I know some people mount them, or other places within the bike. Maybe you're putting it down by the exhaust pipe where you could, you know, warm up your hand real quick. So just something to kind of think about. But all in all, it was great. If you haven't watched that video and you're interested in doing that, I would say definitely watch it. And not just because I want the view, but rather because it's a little bit more complex than just simply putting the switch on and hooking it up. You have to add in relays because the switch is not made for the current that's going to be drawn while you're activating the compressor. So in order to save yourself time, money, and another switch, you want to add in those relays to prevent you from damaging your switch or potentially, you know, causing a fire. So just something to kind of think about. All right, the last thing I want to cover on the Road King is our wheel spacer. So if you've been watching, you know that when I put on the new rotors, the spacers specifically on this side here was too small, so my brake calipers weren't aligning properly. So what we did is we just added the stock 25mm spacer, which I believe is about an inch, to this side, and it gave it proper alignment, and now the brake calipers are aligning like they should. I've had zero problems with it, so I don't have any weird funky tire wear or pulling to the left or any of that kind of stuff. So if you're concerned that adding that little bit of difference to the spacer will have a major impact on your ride, and this is just from what I've experienced, I'm not an engineer or mechanic, certified mechanic or whatever, just going based off of my experience, I'm not seeing anything, but I'm going to continue to monitor it because I did change what was originally there, but I've done that with a lot of stuff. So I'll keep you posted. If anything does change, then I'll let you all know, but for now that seems to be a fix. All right, let's talk about the air shocks that we put on the Road Glide. So as I had mentioned earlier, these were the Road King's original air shocks. So these are the stock Harley Davidson air shocks, right? So they're not an air ride suspension like I have on the Road King, but rather just air assisted. And in the video that I did on those, I did swap out the oil, shock oil, from what it was stock, or what was in there at least, which should have been about a 7-weight shock oil, to some 10-weight motor oil to give it a little bit more stiffness, or kind of slow down that rebound. And we're running a little bit less air pressure because of that thicker oil. You don't have to have as high a pressure in it. I want to say I'm probably running maybe 12 psi or so. And the question that I had was, is this ride going to be significantly better than the stock shocks that came with this 17 Road Glide, which were the ones with the knob on this side? It's the preload adjustment that you can do. And I'll tell you right now, it's not any better or any worse. They're about the same. I don't really notice a difference. I'm debating if I want to swap them back just to see if I can feel a difference. Like maybe sometimes you got to do that, like kind of go back and forth with it. It's not a whole lot of work. It's 2 bolts, and you're back on the road. But as of right now, if you're looking at maybe buying some used air shocks and you're wondering if it's going to be a worse ride or a better ride, I'd say it's equal. So if you can find them cheaper than you can for the preload and you just need something to swap out, I'd say do it. If you're looking for truly a much better ride, then you need to start looking at like Legends or Owens or whoever, an aftermarket suspension, Wilbur's, something like that. And you'll get a much better ride than you would with, say, these or the pre-adjust style shocks. Okay, so let's talk about the last thing we want to review, and this is a re-review of a previous product that was installed. And actually originally it was looking great. I had no problem with them, and the hype was that I found some really cool LEDs for the Road Glide at a decent price and look just as good as the other guys, right? The big sellers, for about a quarter of their price. And those LEDs were the Saddlebag Latch LEDs. Now if you look, you're seeing there are several LEDs that have gone out, and that happened probably within the last, like, I'm assuming 3 weeks or so. They didn't get banged or hit or anything like that, but they've gone out. So if I tap on it, I don't get any action out of it. They've just kind of gradually failed, I guess. And then on my other side here, I've only got one LED that's out. I don't know how well you can see that, but just one of them. So that's not too bad. But I gotta say, having that many LEDs out on that other side, that's not good. So I bought these off of Amazon. I reached out to the seller because I've only had these for about 10 months or so, to find out, like, hey, what's their warranty, what's going on. And I was really disappointed because according to them, they had a 6-month warranty on these parts, which I've never heard of a 6-month warranty. I've heard of 30 days. I've heard of 90 days and then a year. I've never heard of 6 months. Like, that's kind of weird. When I did reach out to them, let them know what was going on, they did offer to give me a discount on the purchase of another set, and the discount was about 30% off, which I guess is okay. when you think about the percentage, but in reality they're $40. So you're looking at like, you know, maybe $6 off of your order. So I mean, honestly, I think they were just kind of selling them at cost probably to them, and to me that's not okay. That's not cool. The link I'll throw in the description just so you know who they are, because, you know, not because I'm slamming them and saying that they put out a bad product, but just letting you know that this is my experience, and these are the folks who sold them. They were very generous. I mean, it's very nice of them to even offer me anything. If they truly have a 6-month warranty, they didn't have to offer me anything, but in this case they did. They also offered me a discount on future purchase if I wanted to go that route as well, and I declined both just because my beliefs are, I've had these for less than a year, and good business would be to make it right. I mean, I didn't do anything special with these, so unfortunately it's not going to work out. I'm going to switch back to kind of a stock smoked lens, but while I do that, you know, I'm going to make lemonade out of lemons, and the way I'm going to do that is, what I'm hoping to do is pull those off, and I think on the back side it's like some kind of putty or epoxy or whatever that they use to waterproof and seal that back in. I'm gonna try to find out how to remove that, and I'm gonna see if I can replace those LEDs, because I'm sure I can get a bag of them off of eBay for relatively cheap, and solder in some replacements, and hopefully get back on the road some cool LEDs that I put together myself. I don't know how easy or how hard it's gonna be, but I'm about to find out, and so are you, because I'm gonna put it on the video. So we'll find out how that goes. All right, guys, so there you have it for this week. Our review for the last like 2 months, basically. That is, you know, the air ride on the Road King, the air switch. We had the spacer. We covered the stock air shocks that came from the Road King, were donated over to the Road Glide for a test out. And then the last but not least thing was the LED latch lights that we put on the Road Glide. Unfortunately, it's kind of a bust only after about 9-10 months. And I'm gonna look at the opportunity to hopefully repair them myself if I can. Awesome. It'll be a great video that'll give you the opportunity that if you ever run into the same problem, you're able to swap them out. I know other people that have bought these, and so far the feedback I have heard from them is they've had no problem. So maybe I just got a bum set, I don't know. But it is what it is, and this is Mike It Yourself, so I'm gonna take an opportunity to do just that and fix them myself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you be a part of my community and provide your input. If you've had some similar experiences or different experiences, share them with us in the comment. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you have any input from me, again, I'm not a professional, so I'm willing to listen to input from anybody, because there are things I just don't think about, and a lot of great ideas are out there, and I'd love to hear them. So hit that subscription button, and if you don't want to miss on the next video, hit the notification bell, and that way you get the ding ding when that video does post. And until that video does post, I hope to see you in the win.